So this is the test to my final 3D printed project. As you can see, I printed out a tip to this fly rod I have. It was broken, the tip had broken off, so I printed out a tip out of ABS. After it was printed, I drilled using a drill, I drilled about halfway into the cylindrical part of this tip. Then what I did was I actually coated the surface of the whole print in a clear lacquer to make it less rough. And then lastly, I slid it over the rod I have, and I attached it, or using an adhesive, using epoxy. So it is firmly attached onto the end of my rod. Now for the test I'm going to use a 5-pound weight. Use a 5-pound weight, and this is Lake Hickory. I am going to attach this to the line of my rod, and I'm going to first drop it and raise it straight back up using the rod, and then I'm going to throw it out and retrieve it using the rod here. Now, a few things about the parameter of this test. For one, all of the force will not be on the 3D printout because of the fact that the rod flexes and bends. In fact, the graphite rod here is much more flexible than this ABS tip. So that means not all of the tension force will be on the end of this. Secondly, weight is a measurement of force. It is, well, a measurement of force upon an object due to the Earth's gravitational field near the Earth's surface. So this 5-pound weight and let's say a 5-pound fish, if they were just hanging from the end of my rod, would have the same amount of downward force upon said rod. However, obviously a fish can swim away. When I'm playing a fish, it's probably going to try to swim away. Thus, more than 5 pounds of force can be put on totally on the rod itself. However, a fish is a bit more buoyant than this weight, and it is a bit more aquadynamic, I would say, moving through the water. So resistance from the water itself is probably going to be a little bit less than this very flat and wide weight. Regardless, the reel here I have can be set such that if there is a strong enough amount of force pulling on the line, drag will give and it will click like this and let out line. And I can actually set this with this reel to 4 pounds, 5 pounds. Now this is a 5-pound weight. Most of the fish that I catch in streams and rivers, trout that is, that I catch in streams and rivers in North Carolina, range from about 2-3 pounds. 5 pounds is definitely a maximum. That's more of a rarity. So, given that, I also use a monofilament clear on the end of this because it's clear, the fish can't see it. However, this is rated at 4 pounds, such that 4 pounds of tension on this monofilament, that's about where it should break. So, I set my rod consistently to 4 pounds of tension on the actual line itself. Given that, if my rod can handle 5 pounds of weight being drugged through the water fairly vigorously, it should be able to catch any fish or any trout that I encounter in North Carolina. So, given that, let's go.